Hey guys, stay tuned. We're going to show you how to make a free feeder out of a plastic barrel with 4-inch PVC. So stay tuned. Passion is something built in our souls by the Creator. It drives us to do what we do. As bow hunters, we always respect God's creation, but let us never forget that when our time comes and we stand before God on Judgment Day, God will never ask us how many big bucks we shot or how many species we have taken with our bow. God's only question will be this: what did you do with my son? Alright guys, let me show you real quick how I made this. Not going to take too much of your time. It's actually pretty simple to make this. You need need to buy a stick of 4-inch PVC, and then you're going to need, let me just show you how I did this. On the bottom here I have a 2-foot section, and it's in the ground about 8 to 10 inches. Then I have a cup link. Then inside the cup link I have a knockout, which is it's actually, for those of you that don't know what it is, it's for rough plumbing, for checking the plumbing. You plug up a hole, fill it full of water so the pressure is right. Just asking for a knockout, 4-inch knockout in the plumbing section of Home Depot. I'll show you where it's at. Actually, I got it on the video so you can see it. Then I got another section of PVC, 4-inch PVC connecting into the barrel with a toilet connection. Actually for a wood floor. This is not for a concrete, but for a wood floor. And then that is screwed on to the base of a 55-gallon plastic drum that screws shut. So that's the picture of what you see. Now when you make this, you'll cut your pieces. This top piece I think is about 18 inches or something like that. Maybe 15, I can't remember. Then you have the top section you're going to cut about 1.75 inches up from the end, this top section. Then you're going to slice it about 1/3 of the way through. You're going to heat it up with a heating iron. And then you're going to push it in and fold it in so it makes a lip that goes in. And then this piece here, I'll show you on the video how I make this piece. This is to keep the rain from falling into this section and clogging this all up. And so this is all free feed going from the barrel down into the feeding section. Now with this, you'll be able to see that, and I'll show you in just a second, that you can, when the feed comes out, it's just going to automatically fall out, and the deer can just stick their mouth in there and eat. So, alright, hope you enjoyed that. I might show you a few other sections that I might miss on how to make some of this stuff. So, I hope you enjoyed that. Okay guys, the base is a 4-inch PVC, and that's the weight-bearing portion. And you'll see how the flange is put on the bottom side. I do that for a reason, because you don't want it pulling out of the barrel. And then all you have to do is steady it, because the PVC bears the weight. Just steady it with a couple of stakes put in the ground. And then I've got 2 strands of galvanized wire on the top, and then a couple of strands of galvanized wire down on the bottom portion of it. So that should be helpful to help you understand how to put that together. Now for those of you that need more detail on how I put this together, you can watch the rest of this video, but for those of you who probably already got the idea, this ought to be pretty easy to make. Let me go through what you need to put this together. First of all, the tools. You're going to need a heat gun, of course, to heat up the PVC pipe as well as the barrel, plastic barrel. You're going to need a skill saw. You could probably also use a chainsaw or a jigsaw or whatever it is that you would like to use. You could even use a handsaw. Handsaw would be plenty for this. And then also a 7/16 wrench, 7/16 socket. Always like to put a little extension on it. And then I'm going to go over what you need to buy. Of course, you're going to need a barrel, plastic barrel. I've got this food grade barrel that I think they had garlic in this thing. And it kind of tapers at the bottom, which I like because it's going to push the food, the pellets down further into the middle where you're going to put the feeder portion of it. And then we're going to heat this up and expand this out. You'll see that as we get going. It also has an airtight top where you're not getting water leaking in there. One of the problems that I have with the feeders I have out there now, the free feeders, is that they're so porous on the top that when it rains it just ruins the whole thing. So you ruin $60, $50, $40, $50, I don't know what it is, to fill up one of these barrels, but you ruin about $40, $50 worth of feed every time it rains. It gets irritating cleaning that out and just throwing it on the ground to waste. Then the other stuff you're going to need is a knockout. This is a 4-inch knockout for rough plumbing inspections. If you know anything about plumbing, it'll fit in the end here, and I'll show you how that works later. You need, of course, I like to prime my purple. You could probably just get away with using the glue, regular clear PVC cement, but I like to go ahead and prime it because it kind of makes it soft to receive the glue better and hold better. You need 4 of each one of these, actually 8 of these. Fits a 7/16. I think this is a 3/8 bolt. I'm not sure. Not a professional at bolts, but anyways, so you got 2 washers on here, a lock washer as well, and then a nut. And of course, this is galvanized because it's going to last a lot longer if you use the galvanized. Then you need a 4-inch coupling. And then this is a toilet mount, like sitting in the floor. This is a toilet mount, and we'll show you how that works as well. So let's get started. I think that's all the tools and material you need. So let's get started. All right, guys, here we go. We're going to stick this right in the center, this toilet mount, and we're going to drill out the holes on both these sides where the seam is. I don't think that's that critical. You could do it this way, but I would just keep them on both sides of the seam. You don't want to put it in the middle of the seam. It's probably not as strong. So we're going to put them about like this. Here, here, and here, and here. So let's go. This is going to be mounted on the bottom. And you'll see why in a minute, because you're going to have what's going to hold this up the way I'm designing this. The weight that's going to hold this up is going to be pushing up against this, because this pipe is going to be the weight bearer of the whole thing when it's full of feed. So you're going to want to put this on the outside, not on the inside like some people do on YouTube videos, because it will just push right through with these bolts. So on the outside is where you want it. We'll go to the inside. I'm going to put 1 washer on there. We're going to stick this through the hole this way and then mount it on this way. All right, nice and snug on there. We'll cut that hole out a little bit later. Now that we got this, what we're going to do is heat this up from the outside and push this out so that all the food inside is funneled to this hole. So here we go. Got it on the hottest setting. It's probably going to take a while. Now we're just going to let this thing cool down. While keeping pressure on it. Alright, now that it's cooled off, basically what you want to do is get this convex rather than concave. For those of you that are word challenged, that just simply means you want the bottom to pop out rather than pop in, because that way the feed inside will have a tendency to shove out the hole and not rot inside the barrel. So we're going to drill a few holes in here. You could use a jigsaw for this. My particular jigsaw is actually out of my cabin, not here at my house. So I'm just going to drill some holes and use something to cut the hole out. So I would do it inside the hole here rather than getting it too wide. You just want it cut out on the inside of this hole here. So hopefully you can get me from this angle. So that hole's going to be plenty big right there to allow the free flow of the protein pellets. Okay guys, here's what you need. A 2-foot piece. This is going to be the weight bearing going down to the ground. This will sit on the ground. And then a 15-inch piece. We're going to create the feeder portion right here by cutting a notch and then heating it up and pushing it in. And that will create our notch. Now we're going to go up about from the end here. You just got to make sure this cut is nice and straight. This cut right here is nice and straight and flat. And then we're going to come up about 2 3/4 inches. That works out about pretty good because you don't want too much food getting down in this bottom portion and spoiling. And then the thing won't feed properly. We'll be cleaning it out all the time. So 2 3/4, we're going to mark it there. Another thing is you're going to want to cut this piece out less than half, because it's going to be weight bearing. The weight is going to be pushing on this, so you need at least 3/4 of this. So I'm going to cut out from about here to about right there. I don't know if you can see that. That's probably maybe 1/3 at the most, maybe like 1/4. It's probably better 1/4. So go inside that black line, maybe a little more than 1/4, because that might not be enough for a deer to get its nose in there. But you need about this much space so that deer can get his nose in there. And then the food will flow, or at least from the other side, but it'll flow through this channel here. And then we're going to put this knockout, which is rough plumbing for construction. Put that here. We're going to glue that in there, and we'll have it notched here. That'll hold the food up. And then we're going to put this on here, and this on here, and it'll be weight bearing like that. Okay, got it? All right, so let's make sure this. Burn this baby up. Get it all heated up, and we'll push this in. Make it concave. Gotta wait till that thing dries enough where it's not going to pop back. So here's the finished product. If you look down the hole, you'll see how it will flow through there. One other thing we're going to do is we're going to cut this down to 1 3/4 inches from here, because again, you don't want a whole lot of food in here, because this is food down in here is going to spoil and go bad if they're not eating it out of there. So you want it at least inch and a half. It'd probably even work too, 1 3/4 inches. I'm going to leave 1 3/4 inches. Okay, so you're going to want to leave it at least 1 3/4 inches, because you got your cup link again you're going to put on here. And so that's just about 1 3/4 inches. Otherwise, this cup link is going to get in the way of the food. It stays in there good. Now this piece piece to cover that over. You'll see that'll hold the food down in there. I don't know if you can see that or not. Another piece, PVC, same size as this, about 8.5 inches long, somewhere in that neighborhood. It doesn't have to be perfect. The key is just getting it down where the crease is here on the top. Crease over the hole at the top. It's about the same distance from the top up here. We're going to slice this in half and then cut it out about 3/4 of the way, heat it up, and pull it out to create a cover here so that when it rains, we won't get rain in this hole. Otherwise your feed is going to get all messed up every time it rains. So, all right, we cut that out with the skill saw. You can see there, cut our slit here. We're going to slide this over, or actually what we're going to do first is try to heat this thing up and pull it out some. That's pretty much what I got, and I'll show you how I'll screw that on because you can't really glue that. Also, one other thing, I'm using galvanized wood screws or cabinet screws, whatever you want to call them. And then we'll put one more on each right about here just to keep it from moving in or out. I have cleaned this up a little bit. You can see how it looks now. Just kind of cleaned it up a little bit with the skill saw so it looks a little more uniform, and there'll be plenty of room for the deer to get in there and eat out of here. And another reason why I am making one with just one outlet rather than several is that it will slow down the deer eating the food. This is basically just supplemental food. So if a deer wants it that bad, he'll stick around and wait his turn. So, but we have to do this for our wildlife tax exemption, or cut on our taxes, so that's why we have to have a free choice feeder, and this fits the bill. So, all right, we're going to put this on top here, and then I'm going to stick a couple of screws in it just to make sure this thing stays good, and then we're going to paint it. So let's glue it and stick a couple of screws in and paint it, and we'll be finished.